Stationscenteret for S-tog. Linje HVID mellem Ballerup og Farum. Farum, Ballerup,
So to start with this whole thing about graffiti as a movement.
It's a little piece of you traveling around the city. It's a different feeling.
It's just something, I guess, that gets into your bloodstream that, once you start, it's kind of hard to stop.
You can see the trains running on my way to school, on my way to work. When you're hanging outside, you look up and you see your name on the train.
The whole side of the train was bomb. I was out. Graffiti took another dimension.
I took the train to school. I would take the train to the movies. And somehow seeing the graffiti now on the trains, that was also thrilling. That was exciting.
It's just like the joy of painting, and there's nothing that can replace that. Not galleries or anything like that. It's just when you're painting for yourself, it's a lot different.
As long as people have been able to write, there's been graffiti. Pompeii used to be the city with really the most graffiti in the world until New York took that name.
For a while there, graffiti died in New York. And I think since the European movement has gotten stronger and stronger, and from 10 years ago or so, the European kids have started coming to New York, and they resurrected the graffiti movement altogether, because we were all very closed-minded. If you can't do graffiti on a train, there's no sense in painting. And when they cleaned all the trains and arrested everyone, and most of us went to the galleries and saw money, then there was no more graffiti to be seen or to be heard of, and then we just stopped paying attention, basically, until the European kids started to come and make us all look like a bunch of lazy toys.
Har du oplevet lignende arrangementer som det her før?
Nej, det har jeg aldrig. Kun sådan nogle jams med musik og sådan noget, hvor der nogle gange er blevet malet ud foran. Men det har jo slet ikke været så stort som det her.
Okay, tak skal du have. Ja.
Fortæl mig, hvordan er det at have 18 dage med breakdance, graffiti og musik? Hvordan er det? Hvordan fanden er den der? Yeah!
So it's a good thing to see many different artists from the hip-hop movement. So we can see many different aspects like breakdancing, writing and rapping music. It's really interesting to see this. I mean, also for the people to see what hip-hop is all about.
The way this whole event has been organized, to have writers with rappers, with DJs, and also with breakdancers. You'll never see anything like this in the United States.
It's a really fantastic setup. This is great. Otherwise I wouldn't have come. I knew it was going to be special and fantastic. Yeah, it's real nice. People are mellow.
It's great. It's probably the best thing that's happening in the whole hip-hop scene in Europe right now. I've never seen something like that. It just came, I didn't know what's going on, and now all these people are in here, and people are coming from New York and everywhere. It's fresh. I just seen it like the same, but not that big and not that great. Yeah, it's fun.
Much respect, man. Much respect to the event, you know what I'm saying? We definitely appreciate, the opportunity to be picked as people to come here and represent and be guests, you know what I'm saying? We really appreciate it. We never take it for granted that people have respect for what we've done, and we take it very seriously, and we'd like to extend our thanks to Subkult and everybody, you know what I'm saying? One love.
So the Subkult Festival, to me, is very reminiscent of our own Rocksteady Crew anniversaries, and that all elements of hip-hop are represented: graffiti, breaking, boogieing, DJing, and MCing. And that's what we definitely try to do at Rocksteady. And Rocksteady Crew although they're primarily known for what they do on the dance floor, Rock Steady Crew, along with the Zulu Nation, is really an organization dedicated to just education and to the exposure of creativity, of youth culture.
You know, hip hop is about you having a youthful memory of your youth coming up. You know, it's time to, you know, puberty, you know, check out, you know, you coming of age of having your girlfriend, you know, putting the tools your mother and father teach you how to live in society. That's what, you know, hip hop is about. You're applying that, making friends, enjoying friends, remembering, hey man, 20 years from now, you and your friends, hey man, you know, we used to do that when we were 16, you know, remember HERC, man? You know, now I'm a parent, you know? I have a kid, 14, 15 years old, he don't believe me. I was a B-boy. That's what hip hop is about.
Fat, man. I think it's good, you know. I wish it would have been a bigger turnout, but, you know, I think it's always good when you have an event. One thing about when we come out to Europe, and it's like the Woodstock of hip-hop. When you throw a jam in Germany, kids come from all over Europe, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's great, man, when all these B-boys come together. It's like it's good to unite them all together, you know what I'm saying, battle, have a circle and all that. You know, and you know, whenever we hear about coming out here, man, we always get excited because we know we're going to see mad B-boys.
We just saw and absorbed. You know, all of us have done it all. We've DJ'd, MC'd, and done graft and b-boying. We just happen to choose b-boying as our forte.
Hip-hop har interesseret mig i over 10 år, og jeg synes, det er på tide, at der sker noget i den retning i Danmark. Så jeg synes, det er det enestående mulighed, som alle, der kan lide hip-hop eller rapmusik, burde undersøge eller tjekke.
Har du nogle favoritter, du kommer for at se specielt?
Ja, altså jeg kommer mest for at se legenderne, som dem, som vi har set i dag, ikke? Altså i dag er det, lige her nu, hvor vi står, så er det jo graffiti-artisterne der, som er her, ikke?
Att måla spelar inte så mycket. Att måla handlar inte så mycket om att måla någonting snyggt eller någonting bra. Jag tror att det största orsaken till att man målar är för att det är ett uttryck för frihet.
When graffiti started in New York City, it started as tags, and then it, you know, developed into throw-offs, more complex pieces, masterpieces, as what they used to call it. And this is one of the early top and bottoms. It's probably like 1974, the HVID crew. So once this happened in New York, forget it. Trains were being destroyed like crazy, or maybe not destroyed, made look more beautiful, maybe. Anyway, at least I think so.
experience in hip hop? That's a real good one. I never come up with that one. My greatest experience. What else can it be can I say when I heard my favorite music, bongo rock, played in the White House by the Rocksteady crew for President Reagan on his inauguration. The B-boys was playing break dancing in the White House for Ronald Reagan. That's my biggest experience. My chest rose like that. Everybody who watched that show in New York know that record. So when that record was played, my name came to their mind. And if I'm like, say, how you call it? I don't know. I'm not, hooked on myself, but it's my creation. So therefore, I have to, hey, I enjoy that. I enjoy that.
For her bringer vi to af de mest sindssyge, to af de mest afholdte, og to af de store forkæmper inden for dansk alkoholiker med tendens til hobby scratch. De præsenterer DJ Nat og DJ Ugerløse. Yo, Copenhagen. Yo, I want to give you one little bit of history. No doubt. Let me give you one quick message right quick. Yo, the first time Jungle Brothers ever came out over the waters to the big UK, you know what I'm saying? We landed right here in Copenhagen, Denmark. This is where we started our shit, right here. And that's hip-hop motherfucking history.
Running whole car top to bottoms, window down, whole cars, panel pieces, then black buses. Then when I was traveling from different lines, I would go and destroy with throw-ups at one period of time just to get up. And then after you blast out, then you pull some whole cars and just for the exposure. And it just kept going, and then it led into the 80s, and 80s just took off for some reason. People were coming out of the woodwork. You know, all the writers like all over. Some of the old timers were coming back, and new guys were coming up. So there was a big thing happening in the 80s, and from the early 80s to the mid 80s. You know, graffiti was just like booming again in New York. You know, it's been 20-something years later, and I'm still doing it. You know, whether I might have did a little disappearing act here and there, but it was illegal. Nothing was legal. It's never been legal to paint graffiti in our cities. It's always been against the law. They always despised it. No matter how nice or how beautiful, let's say, the painting might have been, the city would always file it under vandalism and being a crime.
Maybe about 1983, 1984, New York City had enough of graffiti. They put up the razor ribbons, they put dogs in the yards, they painted the trains white, but obviously graffiti could not be stopped.
It's a good feeling that you get doing it. Now I do it because, you know, I still enjoy, you know, doing my name. I still haven't lost, you know, the enjoyment of, you know, painting my name.
It depends on the mood you're in. Sometimes you just want to paint things. I prefer to paint anything at all.
When you do a train, it's like doing it on a gallery that moves. Your artwork travels to where the people are.
It's just not fun to paint like subways in New York, at least. Out here, there's more of a chance that it'll run, so I think it'd be nice to paint a train.
And that's the whole idea of painting trains. Your stuff has to run. It has to travel. Otherwise, why bother? Go do a wall.
Just get more fun out of it, you know? If you can see once in a while you see the fruits of your labor, to see graffiti, you know, what you've done, that's all.
When kids just paint New York subways or any train, and it's just for the photo, and you circulate the photo in many magazines and call yourself king, that's not a real graffiti writer. Your stuff has to travel. Please report.
It's true. It's true.
The dynamic, titanic, large like the Atlantic. Damn, we represent what others take for granted. Hip hop, got shit locked on flip flop, out to get props. The 9-6 out for Hitchcock. You know what I'm saying? My man, my DJ on the fader, what's his name? Rock Raider. My DJ on the fader, what's his name? Rock Raider. Myself, I used to DJ, right? I beat Raider years ago. He came back and embarrassed the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? So live for Denmark today. See nowhere else, fuck cable, pay-per-view. You ain't seeing this shit. I'm gonna get my revenge on Raider on these turntables tonight. Yeah, you take this microphone.
This is history, y'all. You ain't gonna see this again. This is history. Tricks, y'all. That's from the tricks, y'all. Hey, check this out. Check this out. Since we get where my man NOIZE at, I never met you. Where you at? Come here. We give recognition and respect where respect is due. Noise, come here, man. I never met you before, man. Noise, for carrying on the tradition of DJing and mixing. I'm a mellow, your brother over here, Rock Raider. Come on, where you at, man? Where? That's him? That's him? That's the noise? That's that shit. You just came up here and want to take a picture. Come on, man. Shake your hand, man. Don't take no pictures. Let me get some love, man. Yeah, you just came up here and take a picture. I don't do it like that. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and if it wasn't for you, hip-hop would be on the journey it's on into the next millennium. No doubt. Alright? No matter white, black, or blue, hip-hop ain't got no color. So you got soul, you got rhythm. Who you think, man? Alright?